Hey everyone, it's Dustin with TechMD. We got iPhone 13 Pro Max here. We're just going to be doing a more quicker series on how to fix iPhones, real quick like. Most repairs are going to take like 10 minutes, pretty fast. We are going to use a high quality aftermarket. This is soft OLED FX5 from IG, which I can link in the description. And if you click on my link, it'll actually help our channel. Anyways, we're just going to put this on the heater at 90 degrees Celsius, wait for about 5 minutes to be nice and warm, and then I'll show you the technique on how to open it up. Okay, so now we're going to need a Phillips or a Pentalope screwdriver to remove the two bottom screws. This screen, I do believe, is still good, so we are going to preserve it, and I'll show you how to carefully remove the front screen without damaging it beyond. Well, anyways, you can send it into IG and they'll give you a little refund for the good screen. Like I think on the 13 Pro Max, like probably between 80 to 100 bucks, but if it's a newer phone, it's even more. So this is isopropyl alcohol and an iFlex tool that you can find on IG's website. Like I said earlier, the link will be in the description. If it's not there, then bug my video editor. Alright. Anywhere from 91 to 100% isopropyl alcohol works. I actually get my alcohol from the local salon place. You have to have a salon license, so just get friendly with the salon person and ask them to buy you a bottle. You can buy the fake stuff on Amazon, but I don't trust it. It's probably diluted. So, all right. This is a tri-wing screwdriver. It's designed for Apple and Nintendo. We're going to leave these plugged in for a moment, and I'll show you why here in a second. Show you a little cool shortcut that Dustin likes to do. Okay, I'll fold that over, put this on the heat for about a minute. So you can, where did that piece go to? I don't use them, but you can solder a new IC chip, or the IC chip from this screen to this one here, but I don't do that because I think it's fraud and stupid. And if you want your phone not to have the Apple message, then buy Apple parts. Don't be soldering the chip on to avoid the message. Now some people are like, well, you don't get True Tone. Well, yeah, but you still get a 120 megahertz display. You still get an OLED display. It still works really good. And most people don't care about True Tone. People who care about True Tone get Apple parts. It's pretty easy. So don't try to rip off Apple or rip off the future people who want to use the replacement. So like that message there that says it's going to be an unknown display, it's important to actually be there, because that way the next person who purchases the phone knows it's been replaced. If it's not there, then they don't know, and then that's basically committing fraud, in my opinion. So don't do that. Okay, so do I use these? No, I do not. I could care less, because most of the waterproofing of the phone is gone on the bottom side and the rest of the holes, right? So it's really not that important to do that seal unless it's a brand new phone, right? So what I like to do is use T7000. Let's go ahead and crack this open here. We take our iFlex tool here. Carefully, be careful with this cable here, not to slice it. Now, we're doing this to not have to unscrew those 4 cables, or 4 screws, and then re-screw them back in and put the cable connected in and all that stuff. As of right now, the phone could still be turned on and nothing's getting hurt. Just gotta be careful not to damage this cable. If you do damage this cable, it will cause rebooting, and you got to replace the cable. Now on the LCD display, the lower quality part, this actual slit here is covered, and you can't actually have auto brightness. So that's another downside to buying the cheap screen. And the high quality 120 megahertz screens are better to have. Okay, so now that we got this separated from the screen, now we can disconnect the power and disconnect the screen. Okay, and if the screen is still good, we'll save it in the box here, and we are going to return that back to IG. Just throw that. Okay, so next step, go ahead and connect. This is all with skill and feeling. You'll get used to it after doing this several times, but you feel, and then it just feels like it clicks in. That's the best way I can explain that. Let's go ahead and get this bracket back on here. We're gonna line it up the best we can with a couple fingers here. Screw it down. I'm gonna check alignment down here, make sure it looks lined up. Screw down. Alright, we'll get to that phone call after this video here. Clip this in here. Basically, you put that back exactly where you found it on the new screen. Be careful not to stretch that cable too much. You can go ahead and turn on the phone. It takes a few minutes to boot up anyways, or not. Come on, it might be dead. All right, there we go. Sometimes phones don't like to turn on after being unplugged for a while. You just plug it into the power and then it kicks on, that's fine, normal. A final screw here. Before we put the glue down, we're gonna test it. This one's been reset, so we can't use the emergency dial, but usually I just press the emergency dial. But it seems to be all functioning good, looks good. And we're going to put a stream of T7000 around here. You don't want to go crazy on this, because if you have to open it back up for a warranty or anything like that, you don't want your life too difficult. There's already some really good adhesive here, but like I said, this phone's pretty old, so any waterproofing adhesive that you are going to apply is really not going to do much of a difference to the gaping holes and water mesh that's been ruined over the years. Typically, what I've read and understood on this kind of waterproofing is, if you want a water-resistant phone, don't take it in the water very often, and it's good for about a year. The other option is to scrape off this old glue and put this new one on, but to be honest, this glue is just as good. Then you check your alignment here. Carefully put it in, make sure it sits flush, and then slowly clip it in. Make sure you don't have any glass shards left in the glue too. That's another thing I forgot to mention. If you do, you go crack your new one. And then put your 00 screws in, or your pentalobe screws, pentalobe screws in, and you are done. It's pretty straightforward. You can magnetize your screwdrivers with a magnetizer like this. It will help you grab the screws if your driver is not working. I like these grip screws, also from IG, but the The 2 UULs also good. Remember, the iFlex is also a good tool to help get in between. Set it down on this thing for about 1 minute. It's still warm, and then we're gonna apply the clamps on for another minute, and then you have a perfectly sealed phone. But remember, like I said, you know, you got the open old holes here that you're not going to fix without replacing everything, and most people are just fine with just a simple glue process. Okay, anyways guys, thanks for watching. I do appreciate liking and subscribing, and remember, parts and tools are in the link in the descriptions. Thanks.